First of all, thank you very much for accepting our request to do this interview just before your Polish show in Warsaw. But my first question would be, how did you end up releasing your second album this year? And did you initially consider a double album, or were they conceived as separate projects from the start?
hmm Yeah, thanks for having me first. Um, I would say it wasn't meant as a double album initially, but um, it's kind of intertwined in the way that many of the songs were written, many of the songs of the Kadavar record were written during the I Just Want to Be a Sound period already. Um, I've been finding that image of the yin yang uh, pretty striking because I Just Want to Be a Sound is like a beautiful, open, poppy sounding record that is exploring rather inner themes, while the Kadavar is like a scared look outwards and facing a potential end of the world. Um, so there's a little bit of one in the other uh, on both records, even if they in their own right are really different.
Okay, so as you said, it's like the two other side of the coins, right? Or perhaps the I Want to Be a Sound is the lighter side, and Cadaver record is the darker side. Uh, I would say.
Yeah, I think this is very true, and we I think for the creative process, for us, it was really important and necessary to like make this light-footed record first, and only then uh, we we could face that other side again. I would say like darker themes have been very prominent in our previous work, and we never did like a light sounding record like this, like I Just Want to Be a Sound. And after it was finished, um, it felt right to go like back into the darker themes. We really wanted to make one experimental different record, which I Just Want to Be a Sound is for us.
But have you prepared both of these albums separately from the start, or uh, did you work on these songs together and you just, make some dividing line once was finished?
It's a little bit of both because some of the songs were there, like Lies was ready as a demo for I Just Want to Be a Sound, and we decided not to follow through with that one. Heartache was sketched out already. We even tried to record it and had the feeling it doesn't belong on the record. Stick It was demoed and recorded and made for I Just Want to Be a Sound already. We also had the feeling it doesn't connect with the idea of I Just Want to Be a Sound too well. So we had those songs on the side and a couple more. Um, so there was a certain time period where we wrote both songs together. But then we finished I Just Want to Be in a Sound in the meantime, and came to the conclusion that the other side of the coin needs to be made. And then we kept on writing.
Okay, I see now. Uh, and where did the idea come from to write the acronym Kadavar as kids abandoning destiny among vanity and ruin?
I think it was an attempt to give that last record a title that reflects the doomsday theme, kind of the fear of that the end of the world might be near, and also that notion that inside of all this pessimism, or along with all this pessimism, we feel like we are still, little and young souls that can just shrug with their shoulders in face of all this negativity. And that's also in that acronym, like the attempt of abandoning your destiny, or like, I don't know, not accepting your destiny, is maybe also a word combination that stands for hope that this world doesn't collapse eventually.
Okay. And the new album features what's arguably your most intense and fastest track yet. It's called Total Annihilation. And tell me, please, how it came about and what it's all about.
I would call Total Annihilation kind of the title track of the record. Like, it sums up all that fear and all that pessimism about the state of the world. And yeah, like, Total Annihilation is like a very drastic title in itself. And Lupus, our singer, who wrote that song, envisioned it to be like the perfect example to explore metal territories. Like, I think the lyrics and the music really play well together. And yeah, it also fit the concept of the record. Like, it was meant to be like the final song of that record. Yeah.
And this year, you're celebrating your 15th anniversary. And during the time, you've released 9 albums, if I'm counting well, including a collaboration record with Elder. And how would you sum up this period in the band's history? Could anything have happened better, faster? Because you certainly can't be accused of lacking creativity, or you're a kind of workaholic even.
Mm, yeah, how would I sum up those 15 years? I think it's easy to have regrets about little details, because you can always have this mindset of like, what could I have done better, for sure. I have those thoughts sometimes, but I would say on the grand scale, I am pretty happy, or like, I can look at this journey that we've had together right now, from this day, as something that started as a dream, and connected a few friends through music that they really enjoyed, and then we kind of try to take a few risks, and try to like evolve what the band could be. And we like to experiment. And I think right now with this record, it's that moment where we try to synthesize all the exploring with the core identity that we stand for from the beginning, and it feels good to do that and integrate everything together. I think it's also something that happens now because we have been together for such a long time, and we still want to keep doing what we love, and somehow put together this thing that is called experimenting with this thing that is called maybe tradition of the band. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and speaking of which, a little bit, which album would you consider your breakthrough or most important? Because I guess that fans still favor your first two albums mostly, while critics tend to favor Berlin instead. And how about you?
Let me think for a second. I mean, I think what goes for my favorite bands goes for my own band as well. Like there's a certain magic in the beginnings, and it's also something that you somehow keep chasing, but it's never going to come back. So I think especially that first record, like no other record can take its place, because there's only one beginning. And I would say the Isolation tapes was also a very important moment. But I would probably, being more honest, if I would include For the Dead Travel Fast also, because in between those two records there was a little turning point. There was the point where we try to emerge from a laid out path to something different. And I think between I Just Want to Be a Sound and KADAVAR, it's the full circle moment where experiment and tradition comes back together.
You've mentioned about Isolation tapes, the album which is recorded in pandemic times. And how did you cope with that strange and very tough times as a band?
First of all, I think we were coping with work overload before the pandemic, and the first lockdown gave us a well-needed break, because we had been in that wheel for too long, like extensive touring and making records had become, or like it was in danger to become an obligation.
And eventually burnout.
Eventually burnout, exactly. And it would probably be honest to say we weren't endangered to become burnout, but we actually had it. So that first lockdown was a really nice and comfortable pillow for us. Someone from the outside had to pull the brake because we didn't manage to do it ourselves. So first of all, it was a big relief for us. Not being able to play, not being able to work. And we still had our studio. So we thought, we can finally just do anything, and it really doesn't matter. It's this very special moment in history, and we can just lean into that, and everything's possible. That was the beginning of the pandemic. And I think only in 21, 22, 23, we realized that it's also kind of, maybe it's kind of an identity crisis that we are trying to work through. And we were looking for a few years how to mend that, how to get out of that creatively. And yeah, first we thought I Just Want to Be a Sound is going to be the solution, but I think if you ask me today, like it was still working through a lot of things, making that record. But I would say we kind of arrived to something really comfortable with the last one.
Okay, and some time ago, you started your own label, Roboter Records, and is that project? Have you shut down this project?
We haven't shut down the project, but we kind of stepped back from it as being our daily business, because it was initially a thing that we did in the pandemic to keep ourselves busy and also to be able to release your own music, and have that as a means of surviving. But we realized after the touring business came back to normal, that we cannot do both with full passion or full commitment. So these days, Roboter Records is like a network that we have, potentially also for future releases, but that we cannot maintain in the way we did during pandemic times. Are you still there? Now I see you again.
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm still there. My last question would be about being stylish, because I guess that styling is a very important element of Kadavar. And whether
Yeah.
it's your appearance, your photos, or the look of your instruments. And my question is, how much do you spend on it? And where do you find all these vintage clothes and gear?
So where do you find this? Actually, we these days we find a lot of the clothes on tour. I don't shop that much at home. And I think it's also because 15 years ago it was a lot more fun to go vintage shopping because it was affordable, and it's not that affordable anymore these days. So you have to look very thoroughly and spend a lot more time. So I guess we can be happy that we filled our shelves 15 years ago already. But yeah, we still love to do that, and I think Simon is the most professional guy in our band when it comes to shopping. Like he does it all the time, and I think he does it in every city. So it's an ongoing project. But
So is he a stylist of Kadavar?
he is definitely always a very good example for us. Yeah. Yeah. I think we influence each other whenever we bring a good piece, and he brings a lot of them.
Okay, so thank you very much for this very interesting conversation. Wish you all the best in the future and that great show in Warsaw on December
Thank you so much. It
2nd, I
was a
guess.
pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Take care.